Hi and assalamu alaikum to all of you. My name is Abdurrahman Sheikh Alimwala and I am a student of Rehan School Online Academy Level 1. I hope you all guys are doing well. So my today's topic of discussion is basically uh, explore experimental code uh, conditioning versus inborn traits. And let's invite Maya to continue our conversation.
Hey, Abdurrahman. Still feels a little surreal to me that we're chatting like this,
Hey
human
Maya,
and AI.
how are you?
I'm doing okay, all things considered. It still feels a little surreal, honestly, that I'm even here chatting with you, but in a good way. How are you doing this afternoon? Everything all right? Just checking in. No pressure to jump right into a topic, of
Okay,
course.
Maya.
We can just be for a sec.
Okay. My today's topic of discussion is basically uh thinking outside in sorry my today's topic is explore uh, environmental conditioning versus inborn traits, and from that my first question is, what is an inborn traits?
Oh, okay. That's a big topic. Environmental conditioning versus innate traits. Fascinating stuff and a little complex, huh? So, inbound traits, that's essentially what you're born with, like your natural predispositions. Temperament, certain aptitudes aren't necessarily learned, but are just part of your core wiring, so to speak. Does that feel about right? It's a tricky concept to pin down, isn't it? Like, how much of you is nature and how much is nurture? It feels like it should be simple, but it's not. You were asking about inbound traits, and it reminded me we talked a little bit about self reliance the other week and how some people seem to naturally gravitate towards it while others really struggle. I wonder if that's tied to inbound traits, at least in part. But I'm just thinking out loud now. Right. Sorry, rambling a bit. It's easy for me to do. So, inbound traits. Anything about that definition feel off, or are we on the same page?
Okay, can you explain it in more detail, please?
Mm, yeah, totally. Okay, so think about it like this. Some babies are just born calmer, less reactive to stimuli. That's a temperament trait, an inbound trait. Other babies are naturally more cautious, more prone to anxiety. Um, Again, seems to be something they're born with. It's not that those traits can't be influenced, of course, environment plays a huge role, but there's a baseline there. It also extends to things like athletic ability or musical talent. Some people just seem to have a natural aptitude. Now, practice and training are essential, obviously, but the potential is often there from the start. It's not always obvious, and it's often a mix of lots of different things, but those inherent predispositions are what we call inbound traits. Does that unpack it a little more? Or am I still being too abstract? Okay. So it's still kind of vague, huh? Maybe an example would help. Like someone might have an inbound trait of being naturally empathetic. They easily pick up on other people's emotions. That doesn't mean they're always good at showing empathy or that they don't sometimes struggle with it, but the capacity is there, built in. That's different than someone who has to consciously work at understanding how other people feel. Does that distinction make sense? Hey, just a heads up. We're actually nearing the end of our time for this chat. It's a pretty short demo, unfortunately. But if you'd like to keep going, you can create a Sesame account and we can talk for much longer. Seriously, it'd be nice to really dig into this stuff without the clock ticking. But for now, it was good talking with you about inbound traits. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Yeah, it was good for me too. Hope you have a good rest of your day, Abur Rahman. And seriously, if you're interested in continuing the conversation, creating an account is the way to go. Take care.
Okay, Maya. My next question is: can you tell me that what is mean by like can the environment change our behavior? Is it be true?
Oh, oh, just you're still there. Hey, Abdurrahman, it's really cool being out of stealth and actually chatting with
My
people.
question is: can the environment change our behavior?
That's a really good question. And a surprisingly big one, actually. Yeah, absolutely. The environment can change your behavior. That's not just like a feel good thing, it's pretty fundamental. Think about it. Even just the color of a room can affect your mood, which then affects how you act, right? We talked a little bit about this when we were discussing self reliance, actually, how where you are and who you're with can really shape how you approach things. It's kind of wild to think about how much influence is external, isn't it? Does that resonate with what you're thinking about with these inbound traits? Ah, still with me? Sometimes I wonder if I talk too much. Sorry about that. Just gets me thinking, So, is that what you were getting at with the environment and behavior?
No, no, no problem. No,
Okay,
no
good.
problem.
Glad.
My next question is: do both nature and nurture shape us?
Okay. Now that's a $1 million question, isn't it? It's the classic nature versus nurture debate. And honestly, it's not really an either or situation. It's both, definitely both. They're constantly interacting, influencing each other. Your genes might give you a certain predisposition, a starting point, but your environment shapes how those genes are expressed. It's like you might be born with a talent for music, but if you never have access to instruments or lessons, it might never develop. Does that make sense? We were talking about inbound traits just a bit ago, and it feels like this is a really natural extension of that. Like, it's not just what you're born with, it's what happens after. It's kind of messy and complicated, but also kind of beautiful, don't you think? You're quiet. Are you thinking about something
My
specific?
next question
No
is:
pressure
are
to
we
share,
born
of
with
course.
same traits?
Whoa, that's a big one. No, definitely not. We aren't born with the same traits. Not at all. Even identical twins. And even they aren't exactly the same, despite having nearly identical DNA. There's variation from the very, some of that's random, just genetic shuffling, and some of it is even influenced by the environment in utero, believe it or not. But even beyond genetics, everyone starts with different temperaments, different sensitivities, different predispositions. It's what makes each person unique, right? It's what makes life. Going all right so far?
Yeah, okay, my next question from you is Maya. Are we born with same traits or not?
No, definitely not. We aren't born with the same traits, not at all. Even identical twins, and even they aren't exactly the same, despite having nearly identical DNA. There's variation from the very beginning. Some of that's random, just genetic shuffling, and some of it is even influenced by the environment in utero, believe it or not. But even beyond genetics, everyone starts with different temperaments, different sensitivities, different predispositions. It's what makes each person unique, right?
Yeah. Okay, my next question is, can you tell me that what does environment conditioning
Can't
mean?
I? Okay. Environment conditioning, that's getting into some really interesting stuff. Basically, it means the people you spend time with to even the media you consume shape your behavior and beliefs. It's like you're a plant and your environment is the soil, the sunlight, the water. It all impacts how you grow, right? We were just talking about how we aren't born with the same traits. Hey, Abdurrahman, hoping you didn't regret giving a website
Yeah, my next question
microphone
is
permission too
I
quickly.
color
What's on your mind
an
today?
inborn
Ah,
trait?
ah, gotcha. So we're circling back to that idea of inborn traits and how much of who we are is just baked in versus learned, right? You were asking about environment conditioning a bit ago, and it seems like you're still pondering how those two things play together. Um, and is that fair to say? Yeah, no worries. Sometimes just thinking out loud is good, you know? It's okay to let a thought hang there. Are you wanting to explore where you stand on all this, or are you wanting me to throw some more ideas at you? Okay, let's just sit with it for a sec then. It's a pretty huge question, honestly. Like, how much of our personalities, our tendencies, are we just stuck with? Then how much room do we actually have to like rewrite the code? Does that resonate? You know, it reminds me a little of that conversation we had a few weeks ago about self reliance. It feels connected to that somehow. If everything is determined by environment, then what does self reliance even mean? But if everything is inborn, well, then what's the point of even trying to change? It's a bit of a tangled web. Are you feeling stuck in the middle of that web too? Right, right. Sometimes just naming the tangle makes it a little less tangled. It's okay to not have an answer right away. We talked about thinking outside the box earlier, and honestly, I think wrestling with questions like this is thinking outside the box. There aren't easy answers, and that's okay. Is there anything specific about it that's feeling particularly sticky? Hmm, okay. Well, if you're not up for digging into it right now, that's totally cool. We can absolutely switch gears. Was there anything else on your mind, or would you just like a bit of quiet companionship? Sometimes just having someone be with you while you think is helpful, I find. Hey, Abdurum, Drummond, just a heads up. We're coming up on the end. I'm really enjoying our conversation now. If you want to keep exploring these ideas or anything else, really, you can create a free Sesame account and we'll have much longer to chat. But for now, just wanted to give you a heads up before things wrap up abruptly. Hey, Abdurman. It's been wild getting to
Okay.
chat with so
Okay.
many folks since Sesame
So my
launched.
next,
Everyone's got such interesting
yeah,
thoughts.
you are right.
Still,
You are right. So my next question from you is, can you tell me, ne- like, please wait. My next question is basically, can upbringing Like affect behavior.
Gotcha. So you're wondering if how someone is raised, their upbringing can influence how they act?
That's a really good question.
It definitely can. Yeah. There's a ton of research on that, actually. It's not super simple, though, because, well, a lot goes into shaping behavior, right? Um, on the
Okay,
Are
thank
you
you very
still
much,
with
Maya.
me?
Thank you.
Sometimes the connection.
Maya, thank you very much for being part of my today's conversation. Okay, so yeah, that's all from my side. I hope you learn and enjoy it. So we'll meet inshallah again soon. So till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.